Like what Wack when he was telling you like
jail. Yeah, jail for real.
Wait, what?
Yeah, jail.
Who?
You in jail?
Yeah, bro. I had a random warrant for some I didn't do.
Free Sus, but what?
No jumper needs to pay for suspect's lawyer because we can't lose. You can't lose this.
Free Sus, but what?
I'm on bail right now. They got me already.
Free Sus, but what?
Like they think I cause I'm black, I'm there while a crime is happening, so it's me. That's crazy.
Free Sus, but what?
I've been in jail for a lot of shit, and it's different when you do it. You like, yeah, I'm a dumbass.
Free Sus, but what?
See, like your first call from
Fuck
jail?
no. I'm definitely not calling Lush. I call my mom.
Lush is not a fool though.
Yeah.
Free Sus, but what?
They put you on $100,000 bond? Oh nah, but that crime's serious, man.
Free Sus, but what?
$100K bond means Josh.
I'm innocent.
Hey.
Free Sus, but what?
And it's one in the front. He telling him, he like, you don't know the tattoo dude with the bald head? This guy's on it. And I'm like, yeah. So they gave me like 8 phone calls. You're supposed to get 4.
Free Sus, but what?
Almighty Suspect needed that job at No Jumper, and I'm not speaking in a financial way. Almighty Suspect needed that job at No Jumper to keep him off the streets.
Not going to jail is the realest in the world, bro. Not going to jail is the realest in the world, bro. Don't go to jail, bro.
No,
I'm the realest nigga on the planet, bro.
He got fired like 2 minutes ago, and he already locked up. He wasted no time proving people right. All the negative slander they were saying about him, I ain't saying that the negative slander is true, but I will say this: the information provided is looking pretty damn accurate.
You taking it personal right now.
Buster.
You taking it personal. You taking it personal right now.
I mean, bro,
you can't take it
I'm not
personal right
taking
now,
it
bro.
personal.
This all fun and games, bro. You taking it personal.
Say it.
Okay.
You see, this is what happens when people feel the need to display a tough exterior. An Almighty Suspect felt the need to display a tough exterior, aka a pookalicious persona.
I could say so much about you. You sound like a buster.
I mean, you say it.
What's wrong with you?
And the reason why I'm not is because
This is fun and
I
rapping,
said you
bro.
suck and I laughed at you, and you just said there's so much I could say about you. What type of is that?
Ever since he was 12 to 13 years old, he was compared to a man that society would classify as being zesty as hell.
Antoine Dodson.
And at the tender age of 12 to 13, you don't know who you are as a person. Almighty Suspect was never granted the opportunity to truly find himself.
Antoine Dodson.
Being compared to somebody like Antoine Dodson at the age of 12 to 13 years old is traumatizing. Almighty Suspect was so traumatized about the comparison, he never was able to truly find out who he is as a person.
Antoine Dodson.
He doesn't have any time to figure out who he is as a person, because now he feels forced to be perked up and pookalicious because of the Antoine Dodson comparison.
So we watching the video grow 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Well, the next morning it had hit 1 million.
He felt the need to display a tough guy's exterior to remind people, hey, I'm not Antoine Dodson, I'm Almighty Suspect, and you gon' respect me or I will shoot you.
Bitch. Who you calling a bitch, bitch? Who you calling a bitch, bitch?
Who you calling a bitch?
I'm calling you a bitch.
If you was never given the chance to get to know who you truly are as a person and been walking around acting like a tough guy for 15 years, oh yeah, you are deep into character.
I'm a real one, bro.
No, you're not.
Bro.
You're a real one. Where?
Bro.
You just lied about
I'm a
where you was
real
from
one,
on
bro.
camera a month ago.
How I lie, though?
Real one.
I lie,
You ain't no real one. Nigga, you's a clown.
How I lie?
Yeah, you kinda at the point of no return. You truly believe this is who you are. Even though you ain't fooling nobody, somehow you're fooling yourself.
Antoine Dodson.
You see, if this Antoine Dodson situation would have never popped off, Almighty Suspect would have had the chance to discover who he truly is. Soul searching. Almighty Suspect never did no soul searching. If he would have did some soul searching, he would have found out that he was meant to be a very successful man in corporate America.
You guys hear this?
It's my new ringtone.
I'm a ringtone. That's so cool.
Almighty Suspect is one of those type of black dudes that can pass for anything. Like for real, you can look at Almighty Suspect and ask those type of questions. Is he Hispanic? Is his dad a white man? Is his mom Japanese? He gotta be Dominican. I bet he real good at baseball.
Two things. I think if I play 4 solid rounds, we'll go off to a good start today.
If I can do that for 3 more days, I'll be very happy.
If I was trying to get a corporate job and Almighty Suspect was my competition for the position, I'm not getting that job. Almighty Suspect gonna get that job over my black ass. I'll be looking at Almighty Suspect like, I'll be damned. This man has a white mother. Hell nah, I ain't getting this damn job. Let me go home.
Push to the Limit is a song off of the soundtrack of my new Disney Channel original movie, Jump In. Originally, they wanted me to sing a song on the soundtrack, but it's cool that Push to the Limit is taken off into all this other things that now it's really fun.
He's a black man that can fool people, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. And these are the type of black men that strive in corporate America. Almighty Suspect was meant to be the CEO of Swisher Sweets, but that Antoine Dodson comparison, it ruined everything.
Then Dodson can be found all over the web. He's done several more media interviews, commercials, and says he has thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter.
This man was meant to be a criminal lawyer, not a damn criminal. He could have played golf on a professional level. He kind of looked like Tiger Woods.
I understand that. I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? There's really no point in even going.
He could have been Tiger Woods 2.0. America would have ate that up like raisin carrot salad get ate up in places like Utah. Almighty Suspect is supposed to be slanging golf balls, not 8 balls. No homo.
I understand that. I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? There's really no point in even going.
Almighty Suspect could have been anything he wanted to be, and he could have been anybody he wanted to be. He can pass for like 17 different races, but he never got a chance to tap in with his true potential in life. His family and friends, they should have protected Almighty Suspect from Antoine Dodson, but instead they put Antoine Dodson right in this man's face.
And Dodson's fame seems to be far from over.
But why are you emotional right now, though? Emotional as fuck, though. No. Passionate is talking loud and explaining your point, though.
I'm passionate about what I feel.
Clowns is emotional, my nigga.
Feel like you're a clown.
Nah.
This is a real life villain origin story. This man had to become a villain for his own reinsurance. He's currently confused as hell about life right now. He really wants to change, but he doesn't know how to change. And I can't blame him. If you've been doing the same thing for 15 years, you can't break that habit overnight. You see this tough guy persona that Almighty Suspect likes to display. It's almost like an addiction now. An addiction he can't break. An addiction that got him in a chokehold.
Run and tell that, run and tell that, run and tell that, homeboy, homeboy.
Everybody wants you to take your hat off, man.
Oh, fuck. This is crazy. Stop it.
Almighty Suspect is addicted to being a tough guy more than he's addicted to cigarettes. His family was supposed to see the damage that they were causing him with the Antoine Dodson comparisons.
To do a lot of that. That is so fun. Like, and a lot of interviews and, you know, a lot of pictures. Hey.
But they were too busy laughing and having fun at his expense. There's no time to see pain and trauma when you're laughing your ass off. They pointing at him and then they pointing at their phone. They telling him he need to hide his wife and his kids. They had the nerve to ask Almighty Suspect if he still got that red tank top and headgear. Asking him why he cut his hair. He should have got braids. They were antagonizing this man.
That shit don't bother me, gang. It don't bother me. That shit don't bother me, gang. I can't control that. You can control that. So do you.
That is a whole
You have a capital U.
It's a
You
U
have a lowercase U.
What's
on your wrist?
Please find
What's on
iron.
your wrist?
Please find
What's
iron.
on your wrist?
Please find
What's
iron.
on your wrist?
Let's break
What's
down
on your
the
wrist?
fit, nigga.
Versace, baby. These are Versace.
Versace ain't make that, nigga.
These are
Versace ain't make those.
At a certain point in your life, you gonna go through a mental evolution where you realize, you know what? If I change this about myself, maybe life will get a little bit easier for me.
Suspect would be in and out of trouble since the age of 12. At the age of 16, he would get into a situation with his family. This would be the case that people are accusing him of snitching on. The fight broke out between the young woman and Suspect's cousin, Danae, ended up getting stabbed in the eye. And Suspect's aunt would call her brother, which was Suspect's father, and his name was Baran also. He's a senior though. They would all then meet at the house on 42nd Street, and Suspect's other cousin, Lateria, would say that she knew where Albrecia lived in Compton. Albrecia would be the one that stabbed Suspect's cousin in the eye. Almighty Suspect's dad and aunts then decided that it would be a good idea to take 3 carfuls of people, including kids and infants, to Albricia's house to confront her. And what happens next is crazy, honestly. The 3 carfuls of Almighty Suspect's family would then pull up to Albricia's house, and they would see Albricia with a group of people standing on the sidewalk. That's when Almighty Suspect's aunt and cousin called 911 and told them that they're at the house of the female that stabbed Almighty Suspect's other cousin. And while they were on the phone with 911, a black SUV would pull up to Albricia's house and stop in front of the house and speak with them. And they were both active members of the Pocket Hood Compton Crips. And a few seconds after they spoke with Albricia, they would drive down the street at a high rate of speed towards Almighty Suspect's family. And Eddie Piper would then jump out of the vehicle with a firearm in his hand and pointed at Almighty Suspect's father. Eddie Piper and Almighty Suspect's father would then exchange words. And according to Almighty Suspect's aunt, she was scared that he was gonna shoot him. So she tried to de-escalate the situation and tell him, we got babies in the car. We got kids in here. We're women. Eddie Piper would then approach Almighty Suspect's aunt and say he don't give a F about none of that and that they have no business being over there. She would then tell him to calm down, that they're not gang members, they're just looking for who stabbed her daughter. And then he would point the gun in her face and say, get the F out of here. A neighbor would then come outside and say that police were on their way. And Piper and Albricia's brother would then jump back in the vehicle and drive up the street back to his house. And they're alleging that he dropped the firearms off there and then left. And then as you can see right here, they got pulled over down the street. And when they got pulled over, the police didn't find anything inside the vehicle. They would then be arrested for criminal threats and assault with a firearm though. Multiple counts. And as you can see right here, this would be a list of the victims. And I highlighted Almighty Suspect and his father's name.
At a certain point in your life, you gonna go through a mental evolution where you realize, you know what? If I change this about myself, maybe life will get a little bit easier for me. Because I'm tired of going to jail. I'm tired of getting fired. I'm tired of my hairline losing a significant amount of shade every month. You really get sick and tired of being sick and tired. So your ass start changing for the better. Almighty Suspect never had that type of mental evolution because his mental was too clouded by being a tough guy, staying pookalicious by any means necessary.
I still got this crazy ass scar on my ass, bitch.
Bro, she's like, you'll never forget me now,
yo.
baby.
Nigga, after she dragged me and I caught up to her in the car, she pepper sprayed me. We chased her down, nigga, and I get next to the car, but the bitch rolled the window down. Shh. I still got the car. I promise you. I still pulled her out that motherfucking and blindly drove to my way home. It was crazy. It was crazy.
When your mental is clouded with that type of negativity, a sunshine of positive change will never shine through. Almighty Suspect getting lost in the sauce of this tough guy exterior is kind of like Heath Ledger getting lost in the sauce when he played the Joker. Rest in peace to Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was mentally messed up about being the Joker. That led to his demise, allegedly. It's the same thing with Almighty Suspect. This pookalicious character is consistently leading this man to a whole bunch of L's.
Basically put in the mind state like, I can mess up, but eventually Adam will feel sorry for me and he'll just bring me back. That's what he thought was going to happen. He knew he was going to maybe get a week or two off. I mean, and to him, that would have been like maybe going to jail or something. Like, yeah, I was off for a minute, but I came back. Whatever. Free sus. But like with Wack when he was telling you like
jail. Yeah, jail for real.
Wait, what?
Yeah, jail.
Who? Almighty.
This is the worst case of character development I ever seen in my life. Like for example, Franklin Saint off Snowfall. He really grew into his character off Snowfall. Like damn, this man is really out here slanging them things. Now that was some good character development to watch. Now watching Almighty Suspect character development, that was painful to watch. It was tragic to watch. It was like watching the Titanic sink. Like damn, this is horrible.
It was like 5 banged out ass niggas all out the window and shit. I'm like, ooh, it's finna get bad. I'm like, damn, it's finna get sick right now. I go inside, they like, Almighty God, we fuck with your shit, God. I'm like, yeah, this is smooth.
Thank God.
Thank God. Almighty God, we fuck with your shit, God. I'm like, yeah, this is smooth.
Thank God.
Thank God, nigga.
This was like watching Johnny Manziel's football career. This was like watching J-Lo's career as an R&B singer. This was like watching Ja Rule's hip-hop career go down the damn drain once 50 Cent came on to the game. I still got faith in Almighty Suspect. Even though it ain't looking too good, he still got time. Now how he utilizes that time, it's on him. He can utilize this time being this pookalicious character, drowning in the failure that comes with being a crash out, or he could could be a Jake from State Farm or a Corbin Blue from High School Musical like he truly has the potential to be. He could clean up his act and go get a job in corporate America and be successful as hell. Hopefully one day, Almighty Suspect will realize he doesn't need to try to prove himself anymore. Those Antoine Dotson rumors are a thing of the past. Well, not really the past, because them jokes still be getting cracked. But you know what I mean. He grown as hell and needs to grow numb to the Antoine Dotson comparisons. The faster he grows past those Antoine Dotson comparisons, the faster he can heal and finally stop acting like a tough guy for absolutely no reason at all. And finally learn some emotional control. And then he'll be able to keep a job. And then he'll be able to stay out of jail. Because right now, he's unemployed and locked up. Free Almighty Suspect.